Now let's make our way through imaging diagnostics to zero-G therapy to get a shock pad so we can combine it with our thermite and destroy the barricade keeping us from the corpse of Captain Matthias. Dude, are you okay? Oh, I guess not. Alright, as promised, I will now demonstrate why I'm in the habit of using all but one power node whenever I upgrade my equipment at an upgrade bench. As you can see, this door is locked. However, if you add a power node to this panel over here, it becomes unlocked. These rooms never contain necessary items, but the items they do contain usually justify a loss of a power node.
You found something down there, didn't you?
Yes, we found something.
So the texts were right all this time.
I wouldn't be certain of that. There was nothing divine in what I saw.
We must embrace this. We are the first witnesses.
Matthias isn't letting anyone down in the colony. It's under quarantine until we learn more.
To hell with Matthias. He of all people should know that this is greater than him, or the operation, or even the company. This is our deliverance.
Keep your damn voice down. People are dying down there.
Only the worthless and the unbelievers. But I believe. Do you believe, Terrence? Do you?
This is a diagnostics imaging machine, similar to MRIs and CAT scans of today. The blue pentagon symbol lets us know that we can move it around using kinesis. Dude, are you okay? Oh, I guess not. That's a pulse rifle schematic. Because I won't be using the pulse rifle, I won't use up my valuable inventory space to carry schematics for it. That's just one advantage to only using the one weapon throughout the game. Here we find an inoperable elevator. Sometimes we'll find doors and elevators that have no power, but a place for a sort of battery to be inserted into the wall to supply them with power. These are line racks. It's ammunition for a weapon I do not have. You may have noticed that all the ammunition we found up until now has been plasma cutter energy. The game is programmed so that the vast majority of the ammo you find is for weapons you have on you. I can carry up to 4 weapons at a time, but multiple types of ammo take up more inventory space. And some weapons are not very useful against many enemies. If I were to carry those weapons, my inventory would be quickly filled with ammo I wasn't using, and the type of ammo I rely on the most would be quickly exhausted. This is another reason I prefer to carry the one weapon. The vast majority of the ammo I will find will be for this one weapon, and any other type of ammunition will be few and far between. And if I have room to carry it, I can simply sell it at the store for extra cash. Here and there, we will find areas of the ship where the hull has been breached and the oxygen has been sucked out. With no air to transmit sound waves, the environment will go silent, leaving only the sound of Isaac's breath and voice inside his suit, which fortunately doubles as a pressurized spacesuit with a limited supply of oxygen, which can be refilled using air cans. The number on his back indicates the amount of time you will have until Isaac uses up all of his oxygen and dies. On other areas of the ship, where a vacuum is normal, there are air refill stations mounted to the wall. We'll see them later on.
As you know, the Ishimura is able to set his gravity locally. Your grav boost will kick in when you enter a zero-G area.
Being a man who lives in outer space, Isaac is equipped with gravity boots to walk on walls in a zero-gravity environment. He can also leap from one wall to another. This room is the zero-G therapy room. Presumably, there are afflictions which medical science has determined can be alleviated by a time spent in zero gravity. Maybe it helps the body learn to control transplanted limbs, which were harvested from babies, I might remind you. Or perhaps it's simply calming to be able to float around for a while.
Exiting zero gravity.
Great. You got a shock pad. Combine that with the thermite as a barricade to destroy it. Shit. I can hear more coming. Moving through the vents. Stay safe, Isaac.
I don't have room for this plasma energy, so I'm going to see if I do have something which is of little value and can be dropped to make room for more ammo. These line racks are expendable. Once in a while, you'll happen upon a bunch of highly combustible gas tanks. You're gonna know them by the glowing red lines traced around them. Now these tanks are useful for fighting necromorphs, because you can pick them up with your magical kinesis force and launch them at the sun guns. Now while the method does help you save your bullets, any supply them rascals drop will be just plumb hard to find, given the explosion blew the darn thing in some unknown direction. Now where'd that damn supply go? Well, we finally have the shock pad. But for me, this begs the question, what is a shock pad? Given the name and its usefulness for igniting thermite, we can assume it delivers some kind of electric shock. But how could it be useful in medicine? Well, medical technology of today uses a piece of equipment called a defibrillator. A defibrillator has two handheld pads which, when pressed upon the human chest and activated, deliver a heavy electrical current through the body, shocking the heart back to life. You may have seen defibrillators in use on movies and television in which the medic yells the word "clear" just before shocking the patient's heart back to life. It might seem to make sense that a shock pad in dead space is simply a more advanced defibrillator, since it's on a medical deck. But I doubt this. The reason is, such a device is used for extreme emergencies, and it makes no sense to store the only one available so far across the imaging and therapy facilities respectively in the back of a small room. Can you imagine you're in a hospital bed and your heart stops beating, so the doctors, in response, have to wheel your quickly dying body through the MRI lab and then down a hall and through a room where people are trying to relax in a therapeutic environment before they can get your heart jump-started again? It makes no sense. Furthermore, one would think a device of such medical value could be found in the medical supply room, not far from where we found our thermite. So for me, these considerations pretty much eliminate the idea that a shock pad is a futuristic defibrillator. My two best guesses are that the shock pad is either A, an instrument useful for the regular maintenance of whatever device allows you to switch gravity on and off in the zero-G therapy room, or B, more disturbingly, it could be used for electroshock treatment therapy, a technique I would have hoped would be obsolete by the 26th century. These little bastards are a menace. They're one of the few reasons to carry a second weapon that fires explosive ammunition. I'm going to use stasis and avoid being swarmed by them as much as I can, but chances are at some point in this tour you'll get to see me struggle to fight one or two of them off of my body. By this point in the game, the vast majority of the game mechanics have been introduced. We have covered weapons and alternate firing modes, melee, stasis for slowing down doors and enemies, kinesis for picking up objects from a distance, removing obstructions, and throwing explosive gas tanks. We've covered the various maps, records, and inventory menu features, the store, the upgrade bench, the power nodes, which can also unlock doors, and we've covered vacuum and zero-gravity environments. From here on out, most of the new stuff will simply be new enemies, what the necromorphs actually are, and interesting features of the ship itself and the story behind this disaster. Now we have used our shock pad and our thermite, our medical thermite, to destroy the barricade. We'll continue in the next video.